everybody, welcome to this video. If you're squeamish with needles, you probably don't want to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be giving myself a vitamin B12 injection. I give myself a vitamin B12 injection twice a month right now. I also take oral vitamin B12, but I take the methylcobalamin. The actual injection is cyanocobalamin. And if I'm botching these names, please forgive me. When I moved to Kentucky, I started to see a new rheumatologist, and that rheumatologist tested my B12 levels. I had never had those tested before. And we found that I am significantly, severely deficient in B12. And that's really awful because B12 is really vital for a lot of things. And a lot of the symptoms that I have could be related to that B12 deficiency. And unfortunately, when you've gone without B12, as long as I've gone without it, sometimes it can be a permanent thing. We are hoping, even though I've been on these injections for a year, we're still hoping that we can regain the ground that I lost. The actual injection itself is cyanocobalamin, and we found that my body does not process cyanocobalamin, which is B12, because we found that no matter how much B12 I was taking of the cyanocobalamin, my B12 levels still weren't coming back up. So we just recently found that genetically my body does not like to process this medication. So that's why I am taking an injection every other week, and I'm taking it orally over the counter of the methylcobalamin every day. I haven't gotten my levels tested since we have changed to doing this dosing. The injection is going to be an intramuscular injection. IM is intramuscular, which means it goes into the muscle. There are other types of injections like subcutaneous. SubQ basically means going underneath the skin. Basically, they're talking about where the medication goes when it's injected. And then IV is intravenous, which is when it goes directly into the vein. The needle is longer than a needle for subcutaneous. I'm going to be doing another video showing a SubQ injection. I take one once a month for my migraine disease. This one's a little bit longer. This is an inch long, but if you have watched any of my videos, you know that I take Toradol intramuscularly for migraines, and that is an inch and a half long, so it's a bit longer. I don't give myself Toradol injections in my thighs any longer because I have so much scar tissue from the probably well over 1,000 of shots I've given into my thighs over the last, it's been since 2007 that I started giving myself injections. Usually if I need a Toradol injection, I ask my mom to give it to me now in the hip. It's pretty impossible. Like if I really, really need it, I'll do it, but it's just really damaging to my tissues at this point, so I really try to avoid it. This is my method. Basically, I just washed my hands before we got going here. This is just me doing my own injection. I'm not trying to teach you how to do it. That's the brand. 3 milliliters is how much the syringe can hold. So you can see right above my thing, it says 25G. That means 25 gauge. The bigger the number, the smaller the needle. I like to do a 25 gauge needle. I also have 20 gauge needles with me, but the smaller the needle, the easier it goes into your skin. And then it says by an inch, so that this needle is an inch long. When it says 3 milliliters, you can see this holds, there's numbers on the side here, and it holds 3 milliliters. My medication comes in a little thing like this. Now this medication, the B12, is pink. You're gonna see it. So this is the vial that it comes in, and you can see it's only got 1 milliliter. It's 1,000 mcg of the cyanocobalamin. Here we go. I'm going to open up my syringe. I like to tighten the needle onto the syringe. You know, I just don't want it to pop off. I'm gonna set it down for the moment. I'm gonna pop off this top piece of the vial here. I've seen different people do this differently, but to be extremely careful, I open up an alcohol prep pad and clean off that top really good. The reason for this is, you know, when you pop off the top, maybe accidentally I touch the top. So it comes like this. I like to pull back to the number of milliliters that I'm gonna be injecting. I'm almost there. It's hard for me to see. There we go. So if I was gonna be pulling 2 cc's, I would pull down to here, but since I'm only putting 1 cc in, I like to pull back. Now what I do from here, I've drawn air into my syringe. I take my clean vial. I'm gonna take off the cap, set it down. And now I'm gonna insert the needle into here, and I'm going to push the air into here. The reason for that is that it then creates a vacuum inside, and automatically it's going to draw the medication. See, I'm not even pulling back, and it's pulling the medication into the syringe. It's just a nice quick tip. As you can see, I'm gonna help it out. I'm gonna pull a little bit. Pulling back. I like to get all of it out. So you can see the thing is full. I'm gonna pull out this kind of, I say it pees, which it does. I'm gonna set that down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flick the top to get all the air bubbles out. I'm gonna push up just a little bit, and you can see a little bead of medication came out the top, meaning that we have all the air bubbles out. I'm going to recap and set back down. Now I forgot to kind of show you guys my work surface here, but I like to put a piece of tissue down so that I know that my surface is clean. I mean, it is clean underneath, but I just like to set everything down on here. This is my syringe disposal case, and I have this out. Inject in my thigh. I'm going to take a alcohol prep pad, and I'm going to open it. And I'm gonna pick the area that I'm going to inject. I like to kind of palpitate because I have a lot of, you can actually see marks from where I've done it in the past. The muscle is right here, and I like to pull it up to see where my muscle is so I know where I want to put it in. I'm actually quite tender right there, so I'm going to move to a different spot. I've still got muscle there, so I'm gonna go here. So I put down and I clean in a circular motion going out so that I don't remake my part dirty. I'm going to leave this to air dry. I'm not going to wave it like this because that would just contaminate the area. And I wait about 10 to 15 seconds for it to air dry. Here we go. I feel like I am nice and air dried. I'm going to remove the cap. Yeah, I still like to make sure I've got, here we go, no air. I'm going to squeeze up my thigh here. I'm going to squeeze up my thigh here, and I do a quick darting motion. I want to go through my skin quickly. I don't want to do slowly. It's going to hurt a lot more that way. So here we go. I'm gonna go quickly. Okay. Okay. Now to press slowly. I like to push slowly. This medication doesn't burn like Toradol does, so it's a lot easier for me. Now to press slowly. I like to push slowly. This medication doesn't burn like Toradol does, so it's a lot easier for me. I'm going to pull out really quickly and let go. I'm going to pull out really quickly and let go. You saw a little bit of the medication came back out. Recapping and putting immediately into my syringe box. Cap right back on. I have a little cotton round here that I'm going to kind of dab. There is a little bit of blood coming out, not very much. I could put a Band-Aid on. I didn't get one out because I usually don't bleed. That's it. So that is how I inject my vitamin B12. I was taught that this type of injection, that's an inch long of a needle, can be injected into my arm. That's how my mom gives it to me when I have her give me the injection. My mom could also inject it in my hip, but because I haven't had a ton of injections in my arm, that's where I usually have her give it. Subcutaneously would be different areas. It's really important to know what are the best areas for absorption. There are subcutaneous injections of vitamin B12. There are also IV. drips. Obviously, this is what my doctor decided for me. If I missed answering anything and you're curious and you have questions, please ask them in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I hope that you guys are doing well and staying safe. You all are in my heart, on my mind. Remember, you're not alone. Go live your incredible anyway, which means go find an incredible life with your hard stuff. We all have hard stuff, but there are amazing things that happen with the hard stuff. Sometimes they're just little things that can really brighten our day. No, it won't change those challenging things that are happening to us, but it will change our attitude, and that greatly impacts how we handle and how we cope with those challenging things that are happening to us. And that's why my channel is called Incredible Anyway, and that's why I want you to go find your incredible anyway. Love you guys. See you in my next video. Remember, you're not alone.